Hello guys, ladies, this is Baxter99, and I'm pleased to go ahead and introduce one of the best visual novels that I've come across in my many years of reading these things on Steam over the past, 10 years probably? Panzer Hearts is definitely a great little visual novel that deals with like the casualties and the impacts of war. And this one happens to take us to World War II, where we take control of Bastion, who has to come back home after wanting to serve his country and feeling the failure when he gets maimed and hurt and has to come back home and then is told that he can't go back out to war. In Panzer Hearts, he has to deal with an aging mother who is super concerned because she has serious losses in her life due to World War II and due to war. And so we have to kind of deal with her concerns. We deal with dating and kind of coming of age with Bastion. And there's a lot here, a lot of really deep emotional impacts and thoughts. And I really enjoyed this one, and I think you guys will too. Now, this visual novel is completely free now on Steam. I think it was like $10 back in 2018 when I got it, but it is completely free now if you'd like to go read it yourself. If you don't like to read, then that's exactly why I'm reading this visual novel to you. So I'm pleased to go ahead and re-upload these to my YouTube channel right now. Again, a visual novel that I read almost 5 years ago, back in September of 2018. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure and let me know down in the comments below. Let's go ahead and get this visual novel started with part one right here, right now. Alright, welcome to Panzer Hearts, and we start off with a quote by Harry G. Frankfurt. Loving entails constraints upon the will. It is not simply up to us what we love and what we do not love. Love is not a matter of choice, but it is determined by conditions that are outside of our immediate voluntary control. Interesting. This is a fictional story about war and about love. Both are violent. Proceed with caution. Alright, we'll do that. Let's go ahead and get into this. Welcome, everybody. Alright, so here we go, guys. Let me know if my voice isn't loud enough, or the music needs to be turned up, whatever. It's always hard for me to tell how loud the music and game sound is compared to my voice, because I have a headset on and maybe at a completely different level than what you're hearing on stream. Alright, so let's go ahead and start. I haven't played this even 1 minute, guys. All I know is what it says on the store page, and I got this game in a Indie Gala bundle some time ago. So I think it was like 10 games for $3 or something. So I got a good deal on it. We'll see if it's any good. Alright, how to play? Okay. Pretty familiar with visual novels. Dear Mother. Okay, so that's written in a different language. Thank you for the tiger nutballs you sent. What the hell are tiger nutballs? I shared some with the other men in my unit. I hope you are fine and things are well in Theber. Now it's finally our time, and we are traveling towards the front. Everyone is full of determination for the final victory. I believe firmly in our great empire and the gods. We will triumph over the evil. Mother, I am not afraid. I refuse to be afraid. If it happens that I don't return, do know that I've lived up to my oath as a soldier of the Empire. In death, I'll be led by Nephthys to join Father and Bruno in the afterlife. We will arrive soon, and I need to end this letter here. I will make you proud of me. With love, Bastion. So there we get to start off getting to read a home letter to mom from our main point of view character, Bastion, in this story. I like it. We arrive at a rural village. There's been so many of these small dwellings after crossing the eastern border into the Kolodnovian territory. Currently, it's enemy soil, but soon it will belong to the Empire. All the villages we pass look the same. There are no cars and no electricity. The people must be uncivilized. Thanks for the host, son. They can only benefit from becoming part of our great empire, and should be thankful that we are seizing this land and helping them flourish. Our captain approaches us, a firm look on his face. He's here to brief us on our next mission. After the long journey, I'm filled with excitement. I want to get into the action. And Storm Captain says, "My brave men, can you see the mound beyond the step over there? I need someone to do recon and find out whether these cowards have already left. For the glory of Anubis, savior of the Empire, do I have a volunteer?" "By the light of Harther, I volunteer." "That is exemplary bravery, Bastion. Now get to it." "Yes, sir." I unlock the safety of my gun and start walking towards the mound. It wasn't like I had a lot of choice there, I'm just saying. I try to think of everything they told me in the training, but suddenly my mind goes blank. I remember the same thing happening in sports. You train a lot, but during the competition you forget the training and just execute the best you can. Alright, I'm going to turn this sound down, this music down just a little bit, guys. Yeah, let's turn that shit down just a little bit. Alright. I reach the mound, I slowly climb up onto it. Very slowly I raise my head over the edge of the mound. With all the cells in my body screaming at the same time, I am rendered motionless for what seems like forever. A large group of enemy soldiers is assembled on the other side of the mound. I get up and start running back towards my comrades. The step seems to last forever, as if each step I take pushes the boundary of the safety further away. Now this is a heal. I am never gonna make it. Oh shit. Ow! The hell? He got shot, I think. Panzer hearts. We got shot, Joe! No! I'm seeing a light. Oh no. I died a warrior's death. Well, that's it. That was a quick visual novel. It's all over, guys. What a sad ending that was. We found out we was in war. We walked over a hill to see if the enemy was there. A brave, thing to do that the commander asked. And we died. We got shot. Alright, that was good, guys. Alright, good night, Joe. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm just kidding. I must be on my way to the afterlife. Look where he got shot. Holy shit. Like, his heart's on his left side, so his heart's over here. So he didn't get shot in the heart, but man, he got shot right through his right lung. That can't be good. Blonde hair and brown eyes. Headed to the afterlife, huh? And Nephthys says, "Are you awake, soldier?" "It is Nephthys. She has come for me. Soon I'll be with Father and Bruno." So is this like God? It's almost like an Nephthys? Is this really happening? Am I missing something, guys? Who the hell is Nephthys? Hang on, I gotta check this out. Like, am I completely ignorant or what? Okay, hang on. Nephthys. Okay, let's take a look at this together, guys. Nephthys was a protective goddess of the dead. Nephthys was the sister of Isis and Osiris, the sister wife of Seth. Nephthys was also a mother of Anubis. She is often shown on coffins or in funerary scenes. Ancient Egypt lore, I guess. What the hell? Wikipedia. A member of the great and dead of Egyptian mythology. She's a daughter of Nut. So that's what they're talking about, the Nut something cookies or whatever that his mom sent. The daughter of Nut and Geb. Nephthys was typically paired with her sister Isis in funeral rites because of their role as protectors of the mummy and the god Osiris as a sister wife of Set. Well, it's all over Wikipedia and all over the internet, but I've never heard of Nephthys. Alright, shows you how ignorant I am. Alright, let's go back to the game here. Well, now we know a little bit about Nephthys. Anyway, she's come for me, and soon I'll be with Father and Bruno. He's going to heaven anyway. Can you hear me, soldier? I don't follow Nephthys, or I follow her? Well, if I'm dead, I mean, why would I not follow her? I guess I could, like, no, I don't want to die. Fuck it, I don't want to die. I got this war. I gotta finish this war, man. I don't want to die. Fuck you, bitch. And my Ka is not ready to leave my body yet. And Nephthys says, he is waking up. Wow, that was easy. I just told her I didn't want to die. You hadn't either? Well, good thing I read that then. So now we're back alive, and we have a nurse looking at us, and I'm like, oh yeah, baby, you got some curves here. All right, blonde-haired, blue-eyed nurse. This is it's got to be better than heaven, right? You gonna take care of me, honey? Nurse says, I'm afraid you'll have some work to do left in this world. I'm afraid you still have some work left to do in this world, she says. Wow, is that Nephthys talking through the nurse? I mean, her face kind of looks the same. Maybe not, I don't know. They were both blonde, I know that. And nurse says, you are in a military hospital in Theber, the capital city of our great empire. According to my files, this is your hometown. You were gone for quite some time. How are you feeling? I hesitate for a second. My body hurts everywhere, especially in my head, and I feel like throwing up. But a soldier is not supposed to show his pain. Yeah, soldiers are supposed to be tough, right? Alright. I'm ready to go back to the front and kick some ass. Alright, I still feel a bit weak. Can I rest for a few more days? Yeah, if I'm feeling like I'm going to throw up and my head's hurting, I think I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm going to try to rush this. Especially when I got a hot blonde nurse willing to take care of me, right? Alright, we're going to stay in bed for a few days. And the nurse says, your injuries are quite severe. There's no way you can return to the battle. Most likely ever, hon. Dr. Sin, I'm just going to call him Dr. Sin because I don't know how that's pronounced. Dr. Sin worked for 3 hours digging those bullets out of your rib cage. Wow. Rib cage? I thought I was hitting the lung. Well, yeah, I guess I could still be in the rib cage. There was also significant damage to your inner ear. You might experience a difficulty hearing for a little while, but that will pass. More seriously, the damage to your inner ear could well affect your sense of balance for a long time, maybe even the rest of your life. Alright, I already have a little bit of a problem with this visual novel. I mean, it seems like it's going pretty good. I like the writing so far, and if it was written in some other language or whatever, it looks like they did a good job of translating it to English. But my only problem here is that I know I've been in hospitals many times, and how often do we see nurses giving patients this kind of information? Like, I've never seen a nurse giving this much information to a patient. They always save this for the doctor. The doctors are the ones that give patients this kind of information, like saying, hey, you might have this problem for the rest of your life. I don't think I've ever seen a situation where a nurse comes in and says this kind of stuff. They just pretty much do the taking the blood and, hooking up the IVs and giving you medication and all that, but they're never telling you, hey, your symptoms are this, and you might this and that. I'm just saying that would be maybe back in the wartime where this is taking place. Maybe it was a little bit different back then, though. I guess that's what we're going to have to assume. Okay. So anyway, damage to our inner ear might cause a sense of balance, problems with our balance for the rest of our life. And she says, so you should be careful choosing what you do next. Any work in a noisy environment or something requiring fine motor skills might be very difficult for you. People who love you have surely been praying for you at the temple. It's a miracle that you're still breathing here. And just rest now. As the nurse is still speaking, a man wearing a colonel's insignia nears my bed. Alright, so he's going to tell us how brave we were and thank us, probably, or who knows, I don't know. He's a quite tall man and must be somewhere in his 50s. He looks quite stern, but with warmth lying behind his eyes. The nurse glances at him and quickly leaves my bedside. Young soldier, I am Colonel Kontar Ackerman. I heard you were injured in battle. The doctors told me that you won't be able to return to the front. He looks sad, don't he? Look at him. He has an old, noble name. Only members of long-lasting, prestigious bloodlines are allowed to carry names like that. And Bastian says, Sir, I cannot believe this. I was on my way to becoming a hero of the Empire. Oh, he's crying. Look at that. I see tears. I try to fight my tears, but I failed. I turned my face away. So he's probably feeling like he failed. Like he failed his, his leaders, his seniors in the military. He failed the world. He failed his country. I was on my way to becoming a hero of the Empire. I tried to fight my tears, but failed. I turned my face away. This is not soldierly behavior. The Empire needs exactly your kind. A good soldier is ashamed. Yeah, that's what the word I was looking for, was he's feeling shame. Yep, exactly. A good soldier is ashamed of being unable to serve his country. Don't worry. That's a good point. I mean, real heroes, if they get taken out of war, like this guy did, and almost killed or whatever, they want to go back and they feel shame for failing. Where there are many soldiers who go into a war and try to come up with excuses to get out of war. They look for any reason, or they fake injuries or whatever just to try to leave. A real hero feels shame and real remorse for not being able to fight the good fight. But he says, don't worry. I offer you another opportunity to prove your worthiness. Sir, I promise not to let you down. Tell me, what can I do? Look at his expression. I'm happy to hear such enthusiasm, young man. I run a tank factory in the city. Koladanov is a vast land. That's why mobile tanks be able to thrust through the defense lines are of major importance. I need young men with strong will to serve the Empire, and I can see you have the right spirit. Please come to my factory when you're back on your feet. Yes, sir. I'll be back on my feet in no time. Very well, my child. Very well. Alright, so we can't fight in the war anymore, but we can do some work at the factory, the tank factory. A week later, I'm released from the hospital and I go straight to the address the Colonel gave me. I'm really wanting to get back to working for the Empire. Avenue 4, the factory territory is a huge collection of buildings spreading over multiple blocks. More than 10 towering chimneys splice the air, pouring out thick smoke. Wow. Why would they build such a big factory so close to the center of Feber? The smell must carry for miles. Luckily for citizens, the wind likely blows it out of the city. I approach the soldier guarding the gate, telling him I am here to report to Colonel Ackerman's office. The soldier checks something on his notepad and then allows me inside. I head for the administrative residency. The administrative residency is cluttered with photos of weapons, tanks, and the factory area. There is also a statue of Anubis holding a crook. Right here. Every time I see a statue of what? Where's that? I think of the afterlife and how I must strive. Where'd it go? Damn it. How I must strive to live in a way that will be pure when I die. Okay. A woman sits at a typewriter in the middle of the room. Her desk is stacked with piles of documents, but everything on it seems to be in explicit order. She must be Colonel Kontar's secretary. Excuse me, ma'am, I'm here to meet Colonel Ackerman. The woman glances up from her papers, puzzled. I stand at attention, motionless. She takes her glasses off. Do you have a scheduled meeting? Colonel Ackerman told me to come here when I'm ready to serve the Empire. I'm ready now, ma'am. Well, I'm sure you are, but Colonel Ackerman doesn't see people without an appointment. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name? My name's Bastian. Bastian, is it? I see you're young and eager to serve. That's good. We need more men like you. Can you state the purpose of your visit in more detail, please? I don't actually know, ma'am. I was in the front and got injured. I woke up in the war hospital, and Dr. Ackerman, or Colonel Ackerman, visited me there. He told me I could serve our great empire here, even though I can't go to battle anymore. You see, my inner ear was damaged, and they told me I can't go back out on the front. I appreciate your effort, but I can't just book you a meeting with Colonel Ackerman. He's a very busy man, you see. Ma'am, you really don't understand. I was told personally by Colonel Ackerman to come here. I won't leave until I see him. Oh, wow. And just then, the grand office door opens and Kontar enters the room. He smiles at me, a knowing look in his eye. Frau Beller, what is your problem? What is the problem here? And then that's her name, I guess, Frau Beller. Colonel Ackerman, this young man claims he was personally instructed by you to come here. I tried to tell him that he just can't... Yes, that is correct. And Bastian, I'm happy to see you up so soon and ready for your assignment. Come to my office and we'll get started. Frau, prepare a general laborer contract for Bastian right away. And the secretary looks baffled for a second, but quickly gives in to Kontar's order. Yes, sir. The secretary delves through her papers, and Kontar and I head into his office. The authority of Kontar stirs a childhood memory deep inside of me. My classmate, Pio, I'm just going to call him Pio, an orphan from Pestalea, once tested his limits and made fun of the Empire's history by deliberately singing the wrong lyrics during the music class. I remember the next day when the protection guard came to the school and took him away. I never saw him again. Aw, man. After that incident, I've been keen to obey my superiors, even if obeying is, at times, difficult. Colonel Ackerman, Bastion reporting for duty. I instinctively perform the salute. The salute is performed by putting one's right hand on the left shoulder and bowing with a left arm downwards. At ease, Bastion. Kontar's office is dominated by a huge picture of Animus being served by Nephthys, the protector of the dead. Okay. A smaller painting of a poodle sits on the left side. Right over here. It's an oil painting of a poodle. On the right side, there is a large portrait of our emperor, who gazes across the room as if monitoring the factory's work. Kontar approaches a brand new record player. He sets the needle on it, and a record starts to spin. As he turns to me, the low looming notes of Willem Richard Autumn, Act 3, start to play. I steady my breathing and try not to swallow show my unease. Bastion, you're about to set a new journey. Bastion, you're about to start a new journey. Quite different from the one that you expected. But have no fear, this is just as heroic a mission as the one you embarked on when you first became a soldier. Perhaps even more so. We are doing extremely important work here, and I need men I can trust with my life. This is a battle on a much larger scale. You might not see immediate results, but what we accomplish here is of much broader implications than the scattered acts of glory on a battlefield. Kontar's words ease my mind as I step closer. My fear of being a disgrace to my family melts away. Instead, hope fills my spirit. As you may have heard on the radio, the purpose of this war is not solely the protection of our empire, but rather the preservation of the values we safeguard, and therefore the salvation of everyone. That is why in this tank factory we build our nation's future. The Empire's survival rests on the iron arms of this factory and others like it. Our brave soldiers need equipment delivered on time and in prime condition. Even though our troops are clearly matched by no one, in battle they also need superior technology. Our nation has produced the best scientists and engineers in the whole world. And with their knowledge, we build machines our enemies can only dream of. You see, Bastion, a great country runs like clockwork. Every part must run smoothly for the whole to function. We are each small piece of the grand clockwork which makes up the Empire. Do you understand? Sir, I understand, and I'm ready to serve as you see fit. Sir, I don't quite understand what you mean by Empire being like a clockwork. No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. This is kind of a weird mesh of German and Egyptian stuff. Yeah, it is. It is kind of like the German war and this Egyptian mythology. Yeah, it is kind of weird. I understand. Kontar appreciated that. Good. Starting today, you are going to be a general laborer. Your duties include keeping the facilities clean, safe, and running, and most of all, following your superior's commands. Your supervisor will tell you more about the details. Do you have any questions? Sir, you are a great warrior of the Empire. Did you fight in the Grand War? I don't think that's something you want to ask. Yeah. When can I start? I'm going to show my eagerness. Kontar looks pleased. You have the right attitude, son. Kontar taps me lightly on the shoulder. It's a small gesture, but it does feel good. Alright, so I'm taken to a hall so huge, I feel like I've been swallowed by a whale. Inside, equipment is stacked as far as I can see. Some workers carry boxes and metals around, while others inspect machine parts coming off zigzagging conveyor belts. Some belts take parts through holes into other buildings. It's more complex and beautiful than anything I could have even imagined. This is absolutely amazing. There's no way anyone could challenge us on a battlefield, not with production like this. One of the workers, a tall and muscular man, raises his head. He must have heard me. He takes one look at me and bursts into a warm laughter. Something about him seems familiar. Ha ha ha, calm down, young man. There's plenty to do for us to win the war. This is Hans. I'm Hans, and I'll be your supervisor. Or I am your supervisor. Let me take you through the basics first. As Hans tells me how the factory works, I observe him. He's older than me, but rather than being intimidating, he's actually inviting. I'm reminded of my older brother, Bruno. Bruno loved mulling over deep thoughts and always dreamed of flying. He was so in love with the skies, he drafted to serve in the great Ludendorff Zeppelin. They took him aboard because he was so persistent, even though he was only 13. Oh my God! Could you imagine wanting to sign up for a war when you're 13, and them accepting you because you're persistent into war when you're only 13 years old? Damn. Those were different times back then, for sure. Again, I don't know what's going on where this is the same thing as the last visual novel where sometimes it just goes back and I'm not right clicking or anything. I don't know what's going on. In his first flight, however, he never came back. Oh my gosh. If he had lived, I bet it would have been much like Hans. That's sad, man. I bet you he misses his brother, Bruno. Also, I'm kind of drifting off, and Hans is like, "Are you listening to me?" "Yes, sir." "We are one of the main assembly halls in the factory. There are 12 others in this complex. This particular hall is meant for building tanks. At the moment, we are reworking the facility so we can take up a new project. Did Colonel Ackerman tell you about that?" "No, Colonel Ackerman told me I would be filled in on the details when I got here." "Alrighty then. Almost everything you see here will be different in a couple of days. It's a little surprising we're getting a new face now. The hall's been under tighter security than Prince Hormum's burial tomb. The Colonel must really trust you." "I'm a diligent servant of the Empire. Of course he can trust me." Again, Hans explodes with laughter. It seems to be his way. Look at that. Yes, I can see that. I'll take you to show you. I'm going to take you to to see the place. It's almost finished now. Hans and I head to a different section of the hall. This one is much emptier than the first. The clang of metal on metal fills the air. Flickering shadows reach across the walls as workers weld. Hans takes me to a much emptier section of the room. There, large chunks of machinery lay on the floor in seemingly random patterns. They seem to be parts of a vehicle, presumably a tank. "Bastian, I will now tell you a secret. This information is the most important and protected by the entire Empire. You need to promise me that you won't tell anyone. I mean, should I tell you, I'd have to kill you." "Oh, of course, I can be trusted." My jaw drops as Han lifts a turret piece with his bare hands. That's not possible." "I am the secret, Bastian." "What?" "The Empire has been working on a secret superhuman project for decades." "What? A superhuman?" "I am the first successful prototype." "Oh, wow." "Meet Hansubus 1000. Kind of like the Terminator 1000. Oh, this just got, this almost turned sci-fi now. It turned from a World War visual novel to science fiction now. So he's a humanoid robot, I guess. A Hansubus 1000. Hans throws the turret piece at me. What? My god, I move to block it, but there's no time. The piece hits me so hard in the chest and I fall down. Ow! The last thing I think of before I hit the ground is my family. Oh my god, look how big. That thing would be so freaking heavy. Stupid damn Hansubus 1000. Just throwing shit around thinking that humans can catch shit like that, like they're machines. Yeah, I think this Hansubus has a bug. I think they need to rework it. I am waiting for the eye to turn red. I have failed them. I have failed my family. I am sorry, Father. Arg! Hans laughs loudly again. Look at him. If I can hear his laughter, I must still be alive. He hit him so hard with that piece of metal that he thought he died. Good God. I'm not in much pain, but this is weird after being hit by a turret piece weighing at least a ton. A ton is 2,000 pounds, guys. I am waiting for his eye to turn red. Yeah, like the Terminator. Yeah, I hear you there, man. Did the nurses at the hospital make me superhuman as well? He's wondering how he was able to not die getting that 2,000 pound chunk of metal hitting him and then falling on him, and he's not dead. He's like, wow, did I become superhuman in the hospital? I grab the turret piece and feel myself turn red. It's light as a feather. Oh wow, they must have made him into a machine human as well, huh? It's aluminum. Ha ha ha, fooled you. Yep. These are prototypes made with polyester. Just another example of our empire's greatness. Pharmacist Edward Simon, right here in our city, invented this stuff 100 years ago. The great scientists of our nation have built it ever since. Or have been built of it ever since. A polyester turret piece? I turn it over in my hands. The material is so light, but solid and sturdy at the same time. I've never held anything quite like it. It's extremely light. We use it to make quick models of our machines. This is your first task as a general laborer. Assemble these pieces to resemble a working machine. Let's go. Alright, this is cool. So now we get a little puzzle. Alright, so... Well, wait a minute. What? Where did it go? Oh, I'm just throwing this on here. It doesn't matter where I put it. Okay, so that just painted the... Okay, that's cool. Well, that's pretty easy. That's easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was actually going to be a puzzle. Suddenly, a young woman appears in front of us. Astrid says, "Idiots! Can't you see you're missing a few things? You can't assemble a tank without the caterpillar tracks." Hans says, "Astrid, how wonderful to see you. Don't you already know it's impossible to make a caterpillar tracks with polyester? The structure isn't rigid enough to be molded into something so thin. You must have forgotten, seeing how you're so busy you can interrupt our work. Then you should use something else for the model. Am I the only one with a brain around here?" Look at her face. "Who is this girl? I know that during wartime women must work in the factories as the men are out of the front, but I didn't know they would become so assertive." And Hans says, "Bastian, may I introduce you to Astrid, our cocky fellow factory worker." "It's a pleasure." Astrid greets me with a handshake. Her grip is firmer than I expected from a girl, and her skin feels rough. It must be all the hard work that she's doing that's leaving signs on her body. Oh wow. She leaves my hand covered in grease. The grease is warm, and in a weird way, it feels good on my hand. But maybe it's just Astrid's touch that is so pleasant. It's very nice to have women around, as on the front, it was only us men. And Bastian says, it's a pleasure to meet you too, Astrid. Aha! The first signs of a romance, huh? How you doing, AJ? Trying to get partnered on Twitch now, Zax? Absolutely, man. Alright, so finally, my first day at the factory ends. I'm exhausted, but I'm incredibly happy. The factory bell rings and workers stream out of the numerous buildings. I head to my bike on the outskirts of the factory grounds. And just when I'm about to saddle up, someone yells my name. And Astrid's like, wait, you fool! Look at him jump up and down. Astrid's shout startles me so much I lose my balance. Oh, could it be part of the ear problem? Part of the ear damage he took in the war? Huh, he fell down? Oh my god. And the bike fell on him. In no time, I'm on the ground, and my bike's gone with me. Oh, poor guy. Astrid runs up, part laughing and part panting. Well, at least maybe she's not half machine like his supervisor, Hans. A prick of an annoyance hits me, but the distant joy in her laughter soothes me. Look at her again, just laughing. It's so sincere that it actually calms me down. You're a clumsy one, aren't you? I untangle myself from my bike, unable to look her in the eye. This is the second time I am flat on my face today. Not a great first day. My embarrassment jumps up another level as I gaze up to Astrid. In the sun's warm light, I realize that Astrid is very pretty. I didn't notice it in the pale fluorescence of the factory. Uh-oh. Yup, first signs of a romance starting up here in this visual novel. So should I say you shouldn't startle people like that, or stop making fun of me? I'm gonna choose the top one. It sounds a little nicer way. This kind of sounds like, you know, leave me alone. You shouldn't startle people like that. Well, sorry, mister. I know everything after working one day. Sorry, mister, I know everything after working just one day. Laughing at me again. Bassi says, by the light of Hathor, you should know well how important safety and security are in a factory. You are actually right. I just thought it was funny that you're so jumpy. Well, whatever. What do you want? You forgot your wallet in the assembly hall. I guess you dropped it when you were working on the mock tank. Oh, I didn't realize. You probably dropped it when he got hit with that thing and fell down. Thank you, Astrid. It was nice of you to bring this to me. I guess I owe you an apology. Oh, no worries, clumsy one. I'm used to men falling down, dropping their things, and then getting angry at me. I try to give her an angry look, but she replies with a teasing wink in her eyes, and I can't help but just to smile at her. So, where are you going? Augsburg. I live there with my mom. How about you? I'm heading that way too. Let me just grab my bike and we can ride together. We both grab our bikes and leave the factory grounds. I glance back and see the chimneys putting out dark, thick smoke. It's so thick, it nearly blankets the sun, and the smell somewhat reminds me of the battlefield. It's overpowering. Luckily, it quickly clears as we bike away from the factory, and soon I'm aware of the rustling of leaves in the gentle summer breeze. We bike together through our great city, bathed in the summer sunlight. We glide through the boulevards of linden trees, zigzag between cars, caught in traffic jam. I still feel bad that I snapped at her. I should apologize at least. Astrid, I'm sorry about earlier. I wasn't angry at you, I guess I'm just frustrated. It was my first day at the factory, and maybe I'm just nervous. You know, I came from the front, and... Did you come from the Kolanov front? That's so exciting. You have to tell me all about it. I wish I could go to the front. Astrid's reaction irritates me. She talks about it like it's a fun vacation, not a life or death situation. Well, it's really not that exciting. Yeah, I don't want to say this. That's kind of, I feel like that's the wrong thing to say. Like, yeah, you're too wimpy to go to war. I was injured in my first battle. And Astrid feels compassion for you. That's all the action I saw. War, Astrid, is not fun. Really, in your first battle? I'm so sorry. All that matters to me now is that I can still serve the Empire. I'm happy that you can. Me too. We need to free ourselves from the tyranny of our neighbors. We have been under their pressure long enough. It's time for us to take a stand and claim what is rightfully ours. The final victory means that through all the struggles that we will prevail. As we pass the city center, riding under the Frederick's Gate, in the distance looms the Triumph Column, an obelisk mounted in honor of our victorious army. On the right is the building site of what is to be the largest structure in the world, the Citizens Hall. It's right across the two great venues of the city, the Victory Avenue and the Avenue of Montu. Everywhere I look is evidence of the Empire's greatness. This, the warmth of the summer air and Astrid's company, makes me feel alive again. I haven't felt this good since I came back from the front. We stop at the traffic lights after Frederick's Gate, which is right here. I should turn left here. Are you in a rush? We could head right and go for a swim in the river. Oh, wow. A swim, huh? I don't have my swimming trunks on. I don't think Mom is waiting, and I think Mom is waiting for me at her home. Oh, come on. It'll only be half an hour, and it'll be fun. I know a spot close to where I know a spot close by where nobody will see us. Oh, wow. She's already wanting to go nude swimming with us because, like I said, I don't have my swimming trunks. And she said she knows a spot by where nobody will see us. I've already said that she's pretty. This is going to be pretty tempting. I'm just saying, wink, wink. And Joe's like, damn it, do it, do it. It sounds really good, but... Oh, come on, you mama's boy. I really have to go see my mom. I haven't spent much time with her since I got back from the front. I'm pretty sure she's worried sick. Oh, that's a shame, but I understand. Some other time, then. Thank you, Astrid. No worries, I'll bike with you to your home. Alright, let's go. And we head towards my home in the beautiful summer afternoon. I really hope I can go swim with Astrid soon. I bet you do. Yeah, we didn't even get a choice, Joe. I kind of thought it was going to give us a choice as well. Yep, the game, the developer of this game is smart because he knew what he knew what people would say. He's like, nope, I'm not going to give them that choice because I know what everybody would do. Yep, something to keep you reading though, right? We head towards my home in the beautiful summer afternoon. I really hope I can go swim with Astrid soon. And we arrive at my mom's place in northern Inkberg. It's not the nicest, but it is an okay neighborhood. Mom's place. We've been struggling with money as Mom hasn't been working in years, but fortunately the government is treating us well because of my late dad. He was a merited hero in the Grand War. He took part in the largest and most fierce battle in the whole world. The Battle of Sleepy River. People still talk about it today. Over 1 million soldiers died in just a couple of months. Damn! The battle turned the earth upside down and many soldiers simply disappeared in the carnage. My father's body was never found. Man, that would be sad. Alright, this is my mom's place. Thank you so much. I had fun today. Oh, don't mention it. I had a great time too. It's nice to have someone in the factory that isn't all work. We need to have fun too, you know. Yeah, I think Bastion would enjoy having a little quote fun with Astrid. Haha. So you live nearby? Yeah, just a couple of blocks to the east, in the workers' quarters. I'll see you tomorrow. And Astrid climbs on her bike and takes off. She turns left at the corner and vanishes into the evening traffic. And what he didn't say there is Bastion is checking out that hiney as she bikes away from him. He's like, damn, look at that ass. Look at that ass. Man, I want some of that. I hope we go swimming soon. It takes me a second to realize that I'm still waving goodbye. Yeah, exactly, because he was scoping out that ass. You and I both know that, Joe. I'm just saying. I lean my bike against the wall and head into the apartment. After the ride with Astrid, the air inside our home feels dusty. We get a question mark up here. Pictures of me and my brother and our father. Aww. Father and him and his brother. And we remember his brother died. He went into war at 13 years old and died in the first war. Man, that's sad. Troubled feeling grows within me. Can someone get anxious at their own home? I feel like I do. I leave my jacket on a hanger and head into the living room. Mom is sitting at the living room table. She has just been waiting for me. Or has she just been waiting for me, staring out into space? Look at the gray in her hair. I like it. Looks like a mom. Looks like a loving mom. Bastion, where have you been? I was so worried. Mom, today was our first day at work, remember? I told you I went to the factory. Yeah, factory, that's right. You're working for the war effort. But are you sure you fit in with the factory? It can be very laborious. You should leave that kind of work for the brave women on the home front. You're still healing from all your wounds. Oh, Mom, stop, please. I'm fortunate enough to even have a second chance. Something is wrong with my inner ear, but that won't stop me from doing my part. But those noisy factory machines, they could destroy your ears completely, honey. You might even damage your sense of balance. But no, I understand. Sacrificing yourself for the Empire is the only thing that you ever think of. Aww. Mom's worried about her son. And that's really, that's really accurate. I mean, I feel like that's really plausible. Because a mother that's seen her own son, go to war, and then feel like he's been fortunate enough we already saw that we was fortunate enough, we were ready to go to heaven. And we kind of fought it and said, no, I'm not ready to go here yet. I'm not done. We had that choice to make. And so we were given a second chance. We saw the nurse right when we were up in heaven. Then we came back, we said, no, I'm not ready. And we were in the hospital bed. The nurse was talking to us. And that's when the commander came in and told us, hey, he needs us in the tank factory. But a mother who's seen her own son go to war and luckily survive and not be dead, the last thing she's wanting him to do is go work in a factory where it's really laborious while he's still trying to heal, and knowing that he has ear damage and all the loud machines and stuff like that could, make it even worse. Totally believable. I really like it. I like the art in this visual novel. I like the art in a lot of these visual novels. I feel like they do such a good job of showing emotions and expressions and stuff like that. And so how do I answer her? If I could, I would take the first train back to the front. That sounds argumentative, and I don't think I want to do that to dear old Mom. It's not the Empire I think of, it's Father. I think this is a better choice. We're going to choose this one. Mother will remember that. Oh, Bastion, you were always such a good son. I wish your father could see you now. I know he'd be so proud of you. Bastian, you're still my child. But I'm not. I'm a grown man, Mom, and I need to fulfill my duty. You have grown so much, Bastian. I'm so proud of you. Can you please be proud of what I'm doing now? But the factory, it's a dangerous place, honey. No, it's not. In the assembly area, we use Oropax earplugs, so factory work won't make me go deaf. I'm still worried to death. You have to just be careful. Did you know your father's Ba came to me in a dream last night? He wanted to talk to you, but he was afraid that you wouldn't listen. My father was a hero, was a soldier, a hero. He gave his life for the Empire. I won't expect anything less of myself, Mom. Shame hits my stomach. I put my arm around her and try to comfort her by talking about my first day at the factory, and she's crying. Oh, this is sad. This is so sad. Bastian was drooling too, I bet. Yeah. Don't forget her husband and son also died. That's true. That's true, Joe. That's a good point. Yeah, she lost her husband and she lost his older brother in the war as well. So Bastian here is, that's a very good point you brought up. Bastian here is her last, her last part of the family, her immediate family. Yeah, I can understand why she's grieving and so worried about him. So I put my arm around her and I try to comfort Mom by talking about my first day at the factory. Aw, this is heartbreaking. I'm doing important work for the Empire. I'm building great weapons that'll win the war for us, Mom. I will become a man worthy of father, Mom. I hope that you can understand me. But Bastian... She feels so fragile in my arms. She doesn't have anyone left in this world now but me. There you go, Joe. Right? Exactly what you were saying. And it's not my mother's fault that I failed on the front. How will we manage? Alright, so that was a kind of a sad moment with Mom, worried about her, her last kid, and after losing her husband and her oldest child in the war. I can understand, like I said, I can understand what she's going through a little bit. I know because I have my own kids, and I know that I'd be worried as sick too. But with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and stop this. It looks like it's the second day, so we went through the first day of the war, the first day of the factory, and we know we have an upcoming swim with Astrid. That should be intriguing. Hopefully we'll experience that at some point in this visual novel, which is definitely seems interesting enough to play more of. So guys, Panzer Hearts. We will continue this on Livestream Under the Moonshine number 222 tomorrow night. So be sure you're here for that if you want to watch more of this. And I'm going to go ahead and save it here. Save. Empty slot. Return. Make sure that I can load it. And loading, well, yes. And we're good. Alright, guys. Thanks so much for being here, Joe. Thanks so much for being here. It looks like a pretty impressive, or pretty interesting anyway. I don't know about impressive. We'll see how it ends. Something tells me it's going to end sad, but I don't know. We'll see. It looks like it's pretty good one, though, so I'm glad I got this one. Alright, guys. Thanks so much for being here. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Livestream Under the Moonshine number 222. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one up there.